Vajiraman Ravi has been still there even during my mains preparation, during both my attempts 2023-24. I started my preparation in 2018 here as a foundation batch student, and finally I'm again back here 6 years later. The life has come full circle finally. I post-graduated actually in year 2018. After that I came to Vajiraman Ravi, as the name has always been there, where I was completely clueless कि क्या करना है क्या नहीं. And that year I think, but I think ये join किया test series मैंने, and we had those regular feedback sessions.
GS
we had GS. I was enrolled for the GS thing. I had that regular feedback session after every copy that was checked. We had those mentoring sessions going on. So उससे पता चलता था what is wrong, where I should add on, what is the changes I need to make, etc. So it went like that, and I really scored good in GS. Last year also it was 435 marks in GS 1, 2, 3, 4.
Vanakkam dear brothers and sisters, happy to meet you all. Introducing myself, I am Sivachandran. I have secured All India rank 23 in the recently concluded Civil Services examination. This was my 5th attempt. So I was in the preparation journey for 5.5 to 6 years. So it has been a very long journey. In this course of preparation, I have made a few mistakes and I have evolved some good strategy, but it all took time. So I thought maybe sharing all these experiences with you, the common do's and don'ts of this examination, will help you move in the right path, a positive track, enabling you to clear this exam as soon as possible. So firstly, I'll try to discuss all the do's which I feel are important from the examination perspective. First is that the decision to choose this examination, it should come within and not from outside. Before starting preparation for this examination, it is very important that you develop the inner motive for you to prepare for this exam. The reason why I am saying is that as I was telling you at the outset, this was my 5th attempt, and during this course of 5 years I faced so many challenges. Though I received support from my family, I had challenges on multiple fronts, financial challenges. There were people who were of the opinion that I was wasting my time preparing for the examination. So all these challenges keep coming about. But what kept pushing me was my own internal motivation and inner conviction that someday I would be clearing the examinations. So it is very important that before you prepare, commencing the preparations, you develop an inner motivation towards preparations. Secondly, it is important that you develop a plan B before the commencement of examination. As I was discussing, this is a very unpredictable exam. You may be very well read, but at times due to the level of competition and the long nature of examination, the examination goes on for a year. You have different levels, prelims, mains and the interview level. You are not giving the best on any given day. The entire exam you may have to retake it again. So the uncertainty level and the challenge involved in this examination is enormous. So given these conditions, it is always important that you develop a plan B. Also, plan B helps you confidently take up this examination. My own case, I'm a qualified chartered accountant and company secretary. As I went past the 3rd attempt, as I couldn't clear it, I felt very low and dejected. Doubt started settling in. I started doubting my own levels of preparation, my own caliber, if at all I would be able to clear this examination. But then my strong professional backing always helped me stay confident. I always had this at the back of my mind. If not UPSC, someday I could always practice as a chartered accountant. So this confidence helped me develop my preparation in UPSC. So it is important you have a plan B in terms of very good professional qualification or a very good livelihood to rely on, if not for the civil services examination. So this is the second thing. Thirdly, before commencing preparations, you need to have a very good understanding about the structure of this examination. And the structure of examination best can be understood by a very good reading of the UPSC syllabus. So every year UPSC releases a notification mentioning the eligibility conditions, the syllabus and the structure of the examination. It is very important that you go through the syllabus and the structure of examination to understand the specific need. And the second thing is the previous year question. So that is the only true raw unfiltered source wherein you can understand what is needed of you in order to qualify this examination. So rest of all the sources at times have some vested interest, may be inaccurate, may be false, but the only thing that is unfiltered and perfectly accurate in terms of requirement from you are the previous year questions. So it is very important that even before you commence the preparations, you go through all these documents so that you get a good understanding of this examination. This good understanding firstly helps you evolve the right strategy so that you don't make mistakes, because at times what happens is that if you go on the wrong track, it may take you 2 to 3 months to rectify, which at times is costly, because for some of you the time that is available for preparations would be very limited. So having the right strategy by understanding the requirements of the examination right at the outset is very important. Then moving on, book list. It is syllabus. The reading of the syllabus will help you appreciate the different topics that are covered in this examination. For prelims, you have few topics. For mains, the same topics are covered, but in a more elaborate manner. And here and there are few topics that are newly added. For example, an entirely new subject is added to the mains levels of examination. You have the ethics paper, which is not covered in prelims paper. So all these things you will be required to cover, and for that you will need to have a standard book list. Standard book list, it can be procured from multiple sources. Today in the day of internet, if you are to type in Google the standard book list needed for UPSC examination, you will be getting multiple lists, and always there are these blogs written by toppers. Back in those days when I started my preparation, there was a website called Brunel's, wherein they used to interview the toppers and upload the book list that these toppers followed every year. I curated my book list based on the interviews with these toppers. I made a book list for every subject. For example, in prelims, we have history, geography, economics, environment, science and technology, current affairs, and so on. For each of the subject, I had a particular book, and a similar thing I did for mains. Mains, I had a particular book list for a particular topic, and also noted down those topics wherein I had decided I would be preparing from myself made notes. So this is one thing. After deciding on a standard book list, I would suggest that you completely rely on it, trust it, and stick to it. Don't keep changing it frequently, because in the exam environment, it is very important that you are able to recollect the vast amount of detail that you have procured during your preparation days. This comes about only if you are to revise from a particular book multiple times. If you keep shifting books, it becomes very difficult for you to revise and recollect the data. So decide on the standard book list at the outset based on extensive research, and go with them in the future revisions. Don't change your books just because a particular new book is coming up in market, or because of peer pressure to change those books. Then moving onwards, generic thing which is applicable for preparation of any exams: consistency. Consistency is very important as far as UPSC is concerned, because as I was mentioning earlier, this is a marathon, a year-long exam. So dejections will come about. You may feel disappointed. You may feel frustrated. Because you'll have to make lots of sacrifices during the course of your preparation. You may not be having Sundays. Every day you will be studying, so that frustration comes about. But then it is needed that you internally motivate yourself and stay consistent in your preparation. Keep covering small portions every day, so that when you come to the D-Day, you are very well equipped and prepared to tackle this examination with the needed vigor and skill and expertise. The corollary of consistency is that revision. So the reading of various subjects once is totally insufficient. We need to keep revising every day, because we may cover something in the month of November or December, but then the prelims examination may come about in May or June the next year, and the mains examination August or September of the next year. So it is humanly impossible to retain whatever we read 6-7 months back. In this regard, revision is what is going to help us a lot. We have to keep revising a particular thing multiple times. So if we have selected a particular book for history, say for modern India, I used the Spectrum India. So if we have to use this book, you have to read it multiple times. I covered it at least 5 to 6 times before the prelims examination, and before the mains I read it once more. So totally I had covered it 8 times before writing the first mains examination. So this was my 5th attempt. So you can calculate the number of times I would have studied the text before writing my 5th mains examination. Multiple revisions are very important, and revisions you have to structure and design it in a very careful manner. Daily revisions, weekly revisions, and monthly revision. So a particular thing which you study on X day, on the X plus 1 day, you have to revise it. The first thing I used to do in the morning as soon as I get up is to do revision. I wouldn't get up from my bed, but as soon as I wake up, I will stay on the bed. I'll try to recollect whatever I have read the previous day, and if I'm unable to recollect a few things, I would open the book right then. I would revise them once again, close them, then move on towards the next day's preparation. So it is very important that before commencing the preparation of particular day's topics, you have to revise the earlier day's topics. And next is the weekly revision. So you can have one off day, that is maybe Sunday you can take off, but then it should not be a full off day. Maybe a half day you can take off. The remaining half day should be used for revision. So whatever you have read 6 days in the previous 6 days, it is ideal that you complete the revision in the 4-5 hours of Sunday, so that you recollect most of it. If we are able to do this revision, we will be able to retain 70 to 80% of what we read. Unless and until we do revision, it comes down to 20 to 30%, which is not sufficient for doing well in the examination. Likewise, how you do daily and weekly revisions, you can also take a day or two after you complete the month for revising the entire month's readings. This will also enhance your recollection and retention levels. Next aspect is reading of newspapers. I have heard from many sources that these days reading of newspapers are irrelevant because we are receiving ready-made current affairs materials from A coaching institute, B coaching institutes. But I would suggest that newspapers should be made a core component of your preparations. My own personal experience is that I used 1 to 2 hours every day just for reading newspapers. The reason being that newspapers help us in multiple ways. One is that it gives us, it helps us stay updated with respect to current affairs. Second is that though English language is not of great importance in attempting a general studies paper in mains, it helps us to write answers in a succinct manner because of better vocabulary. And also, as far as essay paper is concerned, one needs to have good command over the English language so that we are able to express our ideas in a better better and a logical manner. For that, the reading of editorial and op-ed pages of newspapers helps us a lot, not only in the mains level or in the prelims level, but also in the interview stages. Newspapers do play an important role. The reason being that when the interviewers try to build up conversations with us, they do expect some amount of criticality and analytical thinking from our own side. Regular reading of newspaper helps us in building these skills, because what happens in newspapers is that not only facts are given, but also opinions, which are opinions are given based on thorough analysis of facts, and on the one hand, and then on the other hand, a critical review of a particular fact is also given. So this helps us to consolidate different ideas and build our own views. This skill set is very much important during our personality test, because it helps us talk with our interviewers who are well read and highly knowledgeable. So newspapers are very important in the course of our preparation. Moving forward, coming to the importance of answer writing. So this is a major mistake which I did. Answer writing was a neglected area for me in my first 3 attempts. My first attempt I couldn't clear the prelims, but in the second and third I cleared the prelims, I couldn't clear mains. The reason being that I focused more on content rather than on answer writing. I tried to read more and more content, pick up more and more data and facts, but I never tried to replicate it in the paper. What ultimately happened was recollection and ability to remember the facts dropped, ability to manage time in the examination environment was reduced, and my presentation levels were very poor. Ultimately, the picture that I conveyed to the examiner, that is the person who corrects my paper, was that this person is not well read, though I had the sufficient knowledge to clear the exam. But when I identified this, that is in my 4th attempt and 3rd mains, I was able to clear the mains, and I received the interview call. And sole reason would be my regular answer writing. So I did it on a little inconsistent manner. So I couldn't have a huge mark increase, but then the mark increase was sufficient enough to get me an interview call. and in the last and the final attempt, I was able to clear this examination because of my consistent answer writing efforts. So I would suggest that you do your answer writing on a regular basis. If possible, a daily answer writing would help you. 7 questions every day, 85 marks, and 1 hour of answer writing. This will definitely help you in other mains level. Moving forward, and last and the most important do which I would suggest is to ensure that you stay at the peak of your physical and mental health. This is something that almost all the aspirants put on the fringe, and they also suffer because of that. I also at times had to bear the brunt of poor physical health. So what happens is that as you keep studying for long hours of time, you drain your physical energy, your immunity levels drop, and when you come to the D day, you have a common cold, fever. So this completely depletes your levels of preparedness towards examination. So it is very important that we say physically and mentally fit. For physical fitness, it is very important that you have balanced and good diet. You have good physical exercises. For mental health, it is very important you have good hobbies, which always keeps the curiosity levels in you alive. And it is important also that you socialize with your friends once in a while, positive minded friends once in a while, so that you are able to cope up with the stress that is generated by long hours of studying. So these are basically the don'ts, I mean the do's. Coming forward to don'ts, there are not many because I've already covered them in the do's itself. A few don'ts is that I would try to put forward certain myths which are not really necessary in this examination journey. One is that it is not necessary that you have to take up coaching in any coaching institute or to travel to a particular city in order to clear those examinations. This is the day of internet. You have all the materials available in internet. You have good guidance from seniors, so you can always prepare on your own, provided you sit and make the proper strategies and planning. So hopefully my video will help you in this regard. Secondly, never try to seek perfection as far as this examination is concerned. There are so many topics that you need to cover. The volume is very high. When you come to the mains level, mains examination level, if you see the mark of percentage of the All India rank number 1, it is somewhere around 50 to 51 percentage. So which is very, very less. So perfection is something that is not needed in this examination. The mantra is that you need to know something about everything and everything about something, and not everything about everything. So that is something that you always have to keep in mind. Try to cover everything as much as possible, but don't feel dejected or disappointed if you don't remember everything that you have studied. Humanly, it is impossible to do so. If even 70 to 80% of what you intended to do, you are able to do it, it is something that is of top class performance. Then again, I've already covered this point about the standard books. Don't try to expand your book list. Keep your book list restricted to a few books. Keep revising them again and again. And lastly, the most important don't is that don't procrastinate. Whatever schedule you have made, try to cover it as much as possible. If you are unable to do it due to external challenges which lie beyond your control, that is absolutely fine. But you don't procrastinate from your internal level. Always try to do what best you can do in a particular situation and in a particular time frame. Hope whatever I have the experience that I've shared with you was of much value to your preparation. I wish you all the best for your examination and wish that I meet you all on the other side. You will all come out with flying colors. Once again, wish you the best for your examinations. Thank you.